It is a 500,000 square mile patch of ocean that has swallowed over 1,000 lives, dozens of planes, and hundreds of ships without leaving a single trace of debris. Pilots report their compasses spinning wildly. Sailors describe electronic fogs that warp time itself. For nearly a century, we've called it the Bermuda Triangle. Some say it's an underwater portal. Others say it's just bad luck. Today, we're looking at the most chilling disappearances in history and the new 2026 data that might finally explain the Devil's Triangle. The mystery went global in December 1945. 5 U.S. Navy bombers known as Flight 19 took off from Florida for a routine training mission. The weather was clear, but soon the lead pilot's radio transmissions became frantic. "We are entering white water. Nothing looks right." All 5 planes vanished. Even crazier, the massive search plane sent to find them also disappeared that same night. No oil slicks, no life jackets, nothing. To this day, the Navy's official report lists the cause as reasons unknown. Among the most compelling and bizarre accounts from the Bermuda Triangle is the story of pilot Bruce Jernan. On December 4, 1970, Jernan, an experienced pilot, was flying his Beechcraft Bonanza with his father and a business associate from Andros Island in the Bahamas back to the Florida coast. The flight began under perfect conditions, a routine trip he had made countless times before. But this day would be anything but routine. As they approached the Bimini Islands, Jernan noticed a strange, lens-shaped cloud formation directly in their path. It seemed to appear out of nowhere, growing at an unnatural rate. Unable to fly over or around it, he made the fateful decision to fly through it. Inside, the sky turned a murky, yellowish gray, and visibility dropped to 0. Then, something extraordinary happened. The cloud began to contract, forming a distinct, perfectly circular tunnel. Jernan described seeing spiraling lines rotating counterclockwise along the tunnel walls, accompanied by brilliant flashes of white light, like a massive strobe effect. He called this phenomenon the electronic fog. Inside this vortex, all of his electronic and magnetic navigational instruments went haywire. The compass spun uselessly, and the plane felt as if it were floating in zero gravity, detached from the normal laws of flight. After what felt like an eternity, but was only a few minutes, a clear blue opening appeared at the end of the tunnel. Jernan aimed for it, bursting out into brilliant sunshine. But when he checked his position, he was shocked. He was already over Miami Beach. He had traveled 100 miles in under 5 minutes, a journey that should have taken over half an hour. His aircraft was simply not capable of that speed. He had, in his own words, teleported through the triangle. Jernan's story raises a tantalizing question. Is there a magnetic anomaly in this region powerful enough to warp the fabric of space-time? While it sounds like pure science fiction, modern science offers a curious corroboration. Satellite data, specifically from the South Atlantic anomaly, confirms that the Earth's magnetic field is weaker and uniquely unstable in this part of the world. This anomaly, an area where the inner Van Allen radiation belt dips closest to the Earth's surface, overlaps with the Bermuda Triangle. Could intense, localized magnetic fluctuations or gravitational distortions be responsible for these reported time slips and instrument failures? The theory remains on the fringe, but the correlation is undeniably intriguing. Of all the explanations for the triangle's mysteries, one of the most scientifically plausible takes us deep beneath the waves. It doesn't involve aliens or portals, but a powerful natural phenomenon known as the methane burp. Deep on the ocean floor, particularly along continental shelves like the Blake Ridge within the triangle, immense quantities of methane gas are trapped. Under the crushing pressure and frigid temperatures of the deep, This gas combines with water to form a solid, ice-like substance called methane hydrate. These are vast, frozen reservoirs of flammable gas, stable for millennia, but not forever. All it takes is a slight change, a warming of ocean currents or a minor undersea landslide to destabilize these deposits. When that happens, the solid hydrate can rapidly convert back into gas, expanding to over 160 times its original volume. The result is a catastrophic release, a gargantuan eruption of methane from the seabed. As this massive plume of gas surges towards the surface, it dramatically lowers the density of the water above it, turning the sea into a churning, frothy cauldron. For any ship unfortunate enough to be sailing directly over this spot, the consequences are immediate and fatal. A vessel floats because it displaces a weight of water equal to its own. But in this aerated foam, there's suddenly not enough water to displace. Buoyancy vanishes in an instant. The ship would drop like a stone, swallowed by the ocean in seconds, leaving no time for a distress call or for the crew to even comprehend what was happening. It wouldn't be a wreck, it would be a complete and total engulfment. The danger doesn't end at the surface. When this colossal bubble of methane hits the atmosphere, it creates a huge, invisible pocket of flammable, oxygen-poor air. If a low-flying aircraft were to pass through this plume, its engines could be starved of oxygen or ingest a fuel-air mixture so rich it causes them to stall and flame out, sending the plane spiraling from the sky. In 2026, oceanographers have focused on rogue waves. The Bermuda Triangle is the perfect storm for these. You have the Gulf Stream, a powerful underwater river, colliding with massive storms coming from multiple directions. This can create walls of water over 100 feet tall. Combined with the deepest trenches in the Atlantic, like the Puerto Rico Trench, any ship that breaks apart is swept away by the current and dropped into a 5-mile deep abyss before anyone even knows they're in trouble. So, after journeying through decades of disappearances and a sea of scientific theories, we arrive back at our original question. Is the Bermuda Triangle a supernatural portal, or just a very dangerous intersection of geography and physics? The truth, as is often the case, is likely far less sensational but infinitely more complex. Statistics from maritime experts and coast guards worldwide consistently show that, per capita, there aren't actually more disappearances here than in other high-traffic, storm-prone areas of the ocean. The difference is branding. No one talks about the South China Sea anomaly or the North Sea enigma, yet these areas see their own share of maritime incidents. The Bermuda Triangle captured the public imagination and never let go. But we can't dismiss the compelling nature of the stories. It's the way vessels and planes are said to disappear. The sudden silence, the lack of distress calls, and the frustrating absence of wreckage that keeps the mystery alive. However, the scientific explanations we've explored offer powerful counter-arguments. Methane hydrate eruptions could theoretically sink a ship in moments, leaving no trace. Rogue waves, once thought to be sailors' myths, are now a documented phenomenon capable of swallowing vessels whole. And the Gulf Stream's powerful current, combined with the immense depth of the Puerto Rico Trench, provides a perfect mechanism for sweeping debris far away from any search grid, hiding it forever in the abyssal depths. The age of pure speculation is ending. Modern science is replacing myth with data. New satellite arrays are mapping the Earth's magnetic field with unprecedented accuracy, helping us understand the real, measurable effects of anomalies on navigation systems. Advanced computer modeling, using data expected from studies in the coming years, will allow us to predict rogue wave formation and extreme weather pockets with far greater reliability. Each new data point chips away at the unknown, replacing fear with understanding. The triangle isn't a portal. It's a perfect storm of natural forces, volatile weather, extreme geology, and powerful oceanography, all converging in one of the world's busiest transit lanes. So, the final question isn't for scientists, but for you. Now that you know the facts, if you were offered a free flight through the heart of the triangle today, would you take it, or do you believe some things are better left unvisited? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more deep dives. I'll see you in the next one.